All right, we're recording. I'm so excited. Okay. So I just wanted to get you guys all on and kind of talk through like goal setting. I know it's the new year. My year started off really crazy. I feel like kind of does for everyone, but I think it's so important to kind of take a step back because I've been feeling like super overwhelmed, and I think it's because I just really haven't set kind of like aligned my what are my daily tasks with my goals, and I'm just kind of trying to do all the things, but because of that I'm really doing nothing. So I've been really focused on trying to like really make smart goals, and it doesn't have to be just about like this business. It can be like being a mom and being like your family. So I think it's going to hopefully help you in all areas of your life, but I have really enjoyed kind of going through these exercises. So I wanted to share them with you all because I do think like we're all here because we have like a passion for this. We want this to be something that we can make it what we want, but you still have to have a plan. And whether you want to do this as a hobby, whether you want to quit your full-time job, it's doable. You just kind of have to know, like, you have to set goals for yourself and you have to have accountability to hit them, just like you do with your fitness, just like we do in our accountability groups. So that's why I'm excited to have like all of you guys on, and those that are going to watch the recording, because I think it'll be important to kind of all like hold each other accountable no matter what our goals are. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Okay. All right, so I have got this. Okay.
You make the cutest stuff in Canva.
Oh my gosh, no, I use templates. I totally use templates. Okay. All right, you guys can see it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. All right. So I have deemed the tagline is "Dwell in the Messy" because I feel like
I love it.
That's so cute.
My life. And this is not like this is obviously not a formal thing at all. So like chime in. I want to hear like what you guys are thinking too. But this is just like, I feel like I told my husband, I'm like, I just kind of, when I feel overwhelmed, I tend to take a step back in everything. And so I really wanted to make sure that I was able to touch base with you guys, because I know like we're just all so busy. So I definitely think life is just so busy, but we can take time to, I might mute guys. Let me see. No, I think you're good. But I think it's like so good to just take a step back sometimes and reevaluate. So to kind of kick it off, this is something Brooke, my coach, told us, that you all know Brooke with Team Liberate. And I think this is so cool because when you think about goals, it's definitely things that are outside of your comfort zone. Like you want to have something that is meant to stretch you. So when you're thinking like, I want to, like for me, do I want to quit my full-time job this year, or do I want to go part-time with my job? Like that is so out of my comfort zone. Like my head goes to, how are we going to live the life we want to live? How are we going to do, like, how am I going to pay for things I'm responsible for? Like all of these doubts come in my head. But the point of it is, it's attainable for me, but I have, like, it has to stretch me. It like has to get me out of my comfort zone to do it. And so I think it's always important to kind of think about, like, you kind of got to take a step back. Now, I have not actually finished creating a vision board, but I actually, and I'll resend it in our group. I had sent you guys like just a goal pack, a goal starter or goal planning pack that you guys can look at just to kind of help sketch out your goals. And so I just actually literally just wrote them down on my screen or on my paper, just like all the different things that I want to do in 2019, not just fitness related, not just coaching related, but with my family, with my full-time job, with my friends, with my husband, my kids, everything. And I think it's so important to just get it all out on paper, like no matter how crazy it is, how small it is, like put it out there. And then and think about like the tangible feelings too, like how do you want to feel? Where do you want to be? If you have like a dream house that you want to be in. And then, get specific too. Like, it can be outside of coaching. It can include everything. I think that's so important, because my goal for you all is to be balanced. I never want you to put anything above your family. And I always want to make sure that, like, I can help you achieve that balance. And I think, like, this kind of being on this healthy journey helps us all to achieve that balance. But definitely that would be the goal when you're, like, looking at your goals. And then my favorite is just SMART goals. I love this acronym, but, like, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound, which we'll jump into. So I think you don't have to necessarily do this now, but you can take a screenshot of this, or I'll also send it to you guys. But I think you should always look back to last year. I've been trying to do this more. And whether it's going through your iPhone pictures, whether it's just, like, just thinking back how 2018 was for you, but, like, definitely celebrate it. Write out all the things. Like, Eric and I, my husband, tried to do this. Like, we tried to celebrate all the wins from last year. And we actually went out to dinner and did this, which was something I wasn't sure how it would go, but it was a really fun date. We just literally kind of talked about last year and kind of what our goals are for this year. And also, like, the hard things too. Like, I know, like, all of us have, like, a lot of hard stuff going on. Some of us are experiencing a lot of hard things right now. And, even if it's something you have to write out and throw it away, like, I encourage you to do that. But definitely, like, remember 2018, but make a clean slate for 2019. And then that's the whole point, is just to, like, picture it in vivid detail. And then we'll just take action, because I think, we're all kind of scared to do whatever the big dreams we have, whether it's, like, for me, I want more financial freedom for my family. I want to be a more present parent. I want to do these things so I can just be more visible in my children's life. And I've just got to figure out how I do it in the pockets of time. And I think we all have jobs. We all have to, figure out how we fit it in. And then this is my favorite, is just, like, kicking fear in the face, because, like, the goals and the dreams you have for yourself are likely something scary and not something that you really, feel like you could just go out and do. But we're all capable of doing, super hard things. So I love this quote too. You should just set goals beyond your reach, so you always have something to live for. Again, because, you can stay, like, in your comfort zone, but I think it's so important. We're all here because we want something more in our life. So make it something to really, like, strive for. So back to our SMART goals. This is just, some of this is, like, really common sense, but when you kind of think about it, I think it helps you too. So whatever you have, and you can write it out, you can tell me later, you can tell me now, like, make sure your goals are specific enough. So, like, I want to, lose weight. Okay, that's awesome. But, like, how much weight do you want to lose? Or if it's not a number on the scale, is it how many inches specifically do you want to lose? Do you want to, earn an extra few $100s a week? Like, get specific. Like, for me, I have a number in my mind that I want to be able to bring in for my family. And so I write it down. And so that way it feels something that I'm actually striving for, rather than just saying, I just want to make some extra income for my family. So, like, that's just to be more specific helps so much. And then you have to be able to measure them. So I don't know how many of you are paper people. I'm, like, I have, like, 8 notebooks on my desk right now. I'm back on the Happy Planner. I got this huge one thinking it might make me more motivated. It's not really working, but like, if you're a whiteboard person, like, write it out where you can see it every day. Or if you're someone, like, I think we're all in the kitchen all the time, put it on your fridge. But, like, and you don't have to put, like, everything in the kitchen sink on your goals list, but, like, again, the ones that you're focused on for this year, write them out. Tell your family, tell us, have someone hold you accountable, and then make sure you're checking in that you're hitting them. Because I think I've always my whole life just kind of been like, I want to do this and I want to do that, but I've never really held myself accountable. And I haven't measured it. So I think that will really help so much. And I love this quote, measurable progress is called traction. And when you can watch movement towards your goals, it really helps keep you motivated. So like in our challenge groups, when we see all these ladies like, killing it and just being consistent and not necessarily like hitting like some perfect size in their pants or like hitting a certain number on the scale, but just seeing the momentum they're creating, that is inspiring, I'm sure, to all of you. And it's inspiring to just be around people who, have that momentum going. So finally, like your goals must have like a time limit. So this is just like one example, but if you don't put, and I'm really guilty of this, like if I don't put a time limit on what I want to do, it is just going to hang around all year. So you have to like be able, and this is common sense, but like, and you don't have to do this with everything, but just like, for example, if you're striving, I think some of you are in the Push to Diamond group. So if you want to, in this business, if you want to get to emerald or diamond, and you need to just set a date, and then we're going to sit down together, or you can, get an accountability buddy, you can talk to me, and this is like one example, you would figure out what it takes to hit your goal. So a diamond is 4 coaches on each leg, and 2 of those are emeralds. So let's say you say March 13th, I want to be a diamond. You're going to backtrack from your deadline, meaning from now to March 13th, it's 6 weeks. So in 6 weeks, I need to hypothetically add 8 coaches. So I could break that down to 2 coaches each week for the first 4 weeks, or, 1 coach and then 2 coaches, whatever it is, but you've got to break it down. And then the last 2 weeks, you've got to get 2 of those coaches to add to become an emerald. So you might be thinking, okay, that sounds crazy. But if you break it down by week and then realize, okay, well then I need to start really being, number one, do my vitals, but I need to be consistent and I need to be inviting. That's going to help you know that you need to be sending out X amount of invites or connecting with, X amount of people every other day or every day, whatever your schedule allows. But this just breaks it down to make your goals more obtainable, because if you just say that you want to be an emerald or a diamond, but you don't have a plan in place, then you're less likely to achieve it. So this will definitely help. Now, this is just one example, but the same for me. I have goals like to maybe leave my job. And in order to do that, a lot of things need to happen. I think my husband can probably hear me in the other room and he's rolling his eyes. But I know like there's a certain amount of money I need to bring in. And for me, just like to get off kind of on a side tangent, like this opportunity's never been about like making a certain amount of money. But if I want to leave one job, I've got to replace it with the hope that I might be not putting my kids in daycare as much, so costs would cut back. But regardless, I still know that there's another goal there. So I've got to break that down into what does that look like every month and what does that look like every week. And when you really break it down like that, it's not that bad. But I think when you think about these big, big goals, you just automatically think there's no way I'll achieve that. But when you break it down, it's much more easier to achieve. Not easier, it's just more obtainable. So I am really trying to work on routines. I am so not like good at routines. And I don't know what all of you all do. And I know Shayla, like for example, you're in a hotel, so it's just like there's all these crazy environmental factors that always throw off our routine game. But, for me, I always found that like when I wake up in the morning and I let my kids wake me up, I am frazzled. I'm like stressed out. I'm not very nice. I'm like lose my temper with my kids more like easily. And, it's just not, it's not a good, I'm not in a good place when I do that. So I've been trying to do the morning routine. I definitely am not getting enough sleep yet, but and I'm not gonna be able to do it. It's not sustainable to do it every single morning, but figure out like what you need to be like, a better version of you, so you can like actually make time for, this business, for your own journey. And you can plug in like throughout your day, not necessarily every single hour because life's going to happen. You're not going to be able to schedule out every single fraction of your day. But I found this helpful to know that like, okay, 5:15, my alarm's going to go off. I'm probably going to hit snooze for 15 minutes, but then I'm going to get in, I'm going to drink some Energize. I'm going to, do some devotion time while that kicks in. I'm going to squeeze in my 20-minute workout because 20 minutes is nothing. Thank goodness for this workout. And then I'll check in with my calendars, and then I'm going to do the kid thing, get them ready for school, breakfast, all that stuff. I have a full-time job, so I've got to, work that throughout the day. But then midday, like usually during my lunch break, I'm checking in with people or I'm sending out invites. And then maybe every other day I'm doing follow-ups. And then in the evening, I'm making sure my husband and I have quality time, but then, also doing some check-ins or whatever kind of task I need to do. But if you break it down, it just doesn't seem so overwhelming. And so your life doesn't feel so frazzled. So, I strongly encourage each of you to like, write it down, send me a snapshot, whatever, of like what you want your routine to be. And I can help you, hold you accountable to it. I know that, I've been working out on Zoom with a couple of people in the morning. So that kind of helps because I know someone's waiting for me. Like, not that they're waiting for me because they're not waiting for me to show up, but like, it's nice to know that someone else is like online while I'm working out. So that's always an option too, like have someone kind of hold you to it. But I definitely think like the most important process of like hitting any type of goal is, your daily routines, your daily disciplines. I think it's the 5-second rule. If you guys haven't read that, it really talks a lot about that. And I've never been one to like I've just kind of lived by the seat of my pants my whole life, not very organized at all. And so I've realized that if I want to hit these goals, if I want us to hit these big goals, I've got to figure out some process and like schedule. And then I love this graphic. Like, that's your comfort zone. That's where the good stuff's going to happen. Like a year ago, I never thought I would actually be still doing this. And what I realized is it brings me joy. It brings me balance. And it just helps me feel, even though like I'm very busy, like we all are very busy, it helps me feel like I'm contributing more to help other like women and people through, their own journey. And then this is just something I kind of threw in at the last minute because it's actually interesting. Our pastor, we went to visit a church a couple weeks ago, and he did a whole sermon on this. And I thought it was super cool because it was very resonated so much with like my life. And I think so many other moms' life is just like being grateful in like the crazy seasons of life and in the grind, because yes, it's awesome to have a goal of being a diamond. Yes, it's awesome to have a goal of maybe leaving your job. But once you hit that, what's the next joy really going to bring you? So I think like what I've found and what people often forget is that like the prize, the joy, the like maybe what you're working towards is like what you're doing daily. And so like, what if like the work that you're doing is actually the reward? And like, what if the prize is actually in the process? So these are just some things like to kind of remind yourself and to think about, because I think like so often I have my sights set on these like big, crazy goals and dreams, but maybe it's also part of like the joy comes from just like doing it every single day and kind of embracing all of it, because it is just, it will pass. Our kids supposedly are all going to grow up. I don't know if that's true, but I do think that like it's such a great, reminder to remember that. And then this is the last one I had, and I'm just love some good quotes. But the future isn't a place that we're going to go, it's a place that you get to create. And I think like it's also a generational thing. I think if you talk to your own parents or grandparents or anything like that, these opportunities like network marketing and like being your own boss, things like that, or just like being able to start your own company, it wasn't as commonplace as it is now. So I think it's so cool that like we have these opportunities. It is like what I'm doing is not out of reach for you, and like what the top Beachbody coach or the top person in any network marketing company is doing is not out of reach for anyone else. I mean, they're all like, no one went to school for this. So I think it's just a matter of, figuring out what you want, and then like letting, trusting your teammates and me and others on our team and your upline and anyone else and family to just kind of help, hold you to it. So that's all I have, but I hope it just like serves as some good reminders of like, everything that you can do. Cause I know like life gets crazy and life is really unfair. But I've really enjoyed having this like extra community to help me through like tough times or just like crazy days when my kids won't stop crying. Because I think like seeing other people be so consistent and so like have such like life-changing results happen to them, is so encouraging. So that's all I had. So what about you all? Like anything you want to share? Any goals you already have? Like how can I help you more is what I really want to get for you.
I want to start sharing my journey for sure.
Yeah.
That's where I like struggle the most. I've been saying for months now that I want to start, and I get ready to, and then I just like, I don't know why, but I just like freak out and then I don't share it. So I just need to be more comfortable putting things out there.
Yeah. And I think like, I think it's also something like you want to, you don't have to, like this business isn't something you just have to do on social media. Like, I mean,
right.
It's not like you have to share everything. And especially like for you, like I'm sure friends and family, like they've seen the difference in like, just
right.
your mindset and everything. And I always tell someone like, you can actually, whatever your dream like goals are for this, like if it's just having an extra revenue stream or just like, staying healthy and inspiring some others to do that too, you can also do that, just in like, I call it real life, but you can do that in real life too. Like I have one of my friends she's just a discount coach, I guess, but she actually just kind of helped like her coworker. She does it with her coworkers and has helped them get started, but she doesn't really have this like huge social media presence. So I always tell someone like, don't feel like you have to do that.
You have to do it that way.
Right. But, if you're someone who's, showing up daily for yourself, I think the best advice someone ever gave me was like, you never know who you will inspire. Like the people who have reached out to me, which usually I always encourage someone to make sure they're connecting, because a lot of people are watching you and they're not going to say anything.
Right.
But, the people you least expect it are the ones who are going to, surprise you. Cause this is something I think as we get older, like everyone needs some way to, like fit in a workout or just know how to like not spend an hour on Pinterest and like, have access to quick meals and things like that. So I think it's just, it's you can actually, you can do it in baby steps too. So always here to help and give ideas. But you could totally do it, girl.
You make it look easy, for sure.
No way. And something else too, when I started, I told Brooke, my coach, I was like, you know what? I am terrified of people that are going to roll their eyes and like say it's just another thing, which, I'm sure there's people like that. But, in the year and a half, it's over a year and a half now that I've been doing this, I have never once had it. I mean, some people may have unfollowed me, I don't know, but like I've never had someone be ugly to me. I've never felt like I was annoying anyone. I think it's just like, because it's something, I'm doing for me, it doesn't feel like so foreign. And the like people that you feel may judge you, or if you have any of those concerns, like they don't, this is the best advice I got. They don't pay your bills. Like they don't know what you need. So I don't love put my kids in daycare full time for the rest, and I don't want to miss their school plays when they happen at 2 p.m. on a Wednesday when they're older.
Just have to keep your goals in front.
Yeah, and I think that's like there's and I can share, and I'll share some stuff too, that some tips I have and have given. But I think if like you can just, like you said, just like work on sharing your journey, and then go from there. And it'll definitely come more natural, because it's crazy the people that will watch you, or notice, or even people like your coworkers or someone, may notice, and it's like you didn't even realize they were, but they're like, I had my boss tell me, I was in Vegas with him for a conference last week. He's like, you just seem different. Like you seem happier.
Oh, that's good.
He's like a really awkward man too. You just seem happier. Okay. Well,
it's working.
I am away from my kids for a couple nights.
That'll do it.
No.
I think the more passionate you become, the easier it is to share too. I think the more you fall in love with what you're doing, and it's easier to tell others and share stuff.
Just believing in it. They can see the passion. Yeah,
I mean, I think that and it helps too, like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like some days I think, I mean, it's never been hard, I feel like, to go, I feel like working out is just something, it's almost like a stress reliever for so many of us. But I think sometimes it's like, it's so hard to maybe like want to reach out to someone who has been watching you, or you don't, like, for me, I have to like pump myself up, or like, I don't know, like I kind of have to like get in the mindset to like really want to encourage someone to maybe think about this. But every single time, it never fails. I always like feel better once I've done that, because I mean, a lot of people may not respond, or a lot of people may say not for me, but I've had so many people that continue to watch my journey or comment or whatever, and we connect, and then we start a dialogue, and 3 or 6 or 9 or even 13 months later, this most recent person decide to make a change. So, and I think too, like the busier people get, the more they need something that's easy and sustainable. So what about you, Shayla? Any, and not to put you guys on the spot, like we can definitely think about them more too.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for this year is, last year was a really hard year for me mentally.
Yeah.
I was suicidal half the year. So I think this year it's more of overcoming that and being confident. Sorry.
No, it's good.
And this has been my outlet from that, and I think sharing that and being comfortable and confident in that, and just promoting and just letting mamas know that, mama guilt is real, and it's okay to feel that, but there's ways to not feel it and be okay. And I want this year to be a growing year in more ways than one. So.
Oh, I love that.
I know.
No, you're spot on. And now I need to share. Oh my God. No, that's right. I mean, I think I told you this from day one. Like, that's like I read it somewhere. Or maybe it was that Pressing Pause book. I think Samantha, you have that one too. But
Yeah.
it's like, you've been given this mountain to show others it can be moved, and I think it's so true because, like, Shayla, you resonate with so many people. Like and that's what I always try and tell someone is there are so many yous out there. There are mamas that are like regularly on the road because their husbands have these side jobs. Like we've been that family. I feel you. Like it is so trying. Living in a hotel and just like being a good mom and, showing up and just showing people that, like, I think that's all part of your story. And, as you get comfortable to share what you want to share, I think it's, you don't realize how many people, I mean, I don't even look at it, like, it's not like you look at people as, oh, that's a challenge pack person, or that's a commission. That's like, you're changing lives. And I think that is just, it should make you feel so good. Like you've changed my life. And I know, like, I think about things like I was having a just weird day the other day. And I'm like, but all these people are showing up. Like I can do it too. And you have fought through so much. So I think it's like, this is a healing year for you. This is a, like, as you said, a growth year. And I'm just so excited for you.
Thank you.
But, I think, and, same with you too, Sammy, like there's so many, like, I don't even know how you do all the things you do, but like, there's so many people like that are very similar to you. So I think it's always like, we always talk about like find your tribe, but like, they're really out there. And, I think what people don't realize is, yeah, this is like a way to get healthy, but you gain so much more in the mindset. And I do want to really revisit like some of the scripting things I've given you guys too for resources, because I don't really talk enough about that. And I think that is so, so important. Like just like the shift in mindset, the just feeling like a better mom, because like you said, the mom guilt is just so tough.
Yeah.
But no, that's awesome.
So when you start from the beginning, you start your journey, I know you create the groups, but how do you start if you don't have anybody that's bought into anything? What would you recommend? Like, would be a good way to start finding people to join?
I mean, when I started, so just like you guys are all in kind of the group that Christina and Aaron and I have. So they're just two other coaches who've added like people that now work with them into one big group. But I mean, Sammy, I think you were with me from really early on. Like I used to have, I started out with Brooke. Like when I started as a coach, I just was in one of her groups, like you guys are in my groups. And then once I got 5 people, I partnered with another coach. But I mean, it wasn't a magic number. It was just like whenever it kind of made sense. But I started just a very small group and it just grew over time. So I think a year ago, I merged with Aaron and Christina and I had maybe 20 people at that point. And some of those were just, I mean, I'll admit, like I had some people who I just added, I think we might have lost her. But this is being recorded. That's okay. I had some people who, were just, maybe they just bought the on-demand, or I think some of them hadn't even bought anything yet. In the beginning, I just wanted people to get a taste of it. And then I would check in with them and say, this is kind of you know, that you have all these options of like getting started. But there were a couple people I added who definitely wanted to see kind of what it was about. But I would think like I'd like to do a free group this month, and that really helps too. But then once like Shayla, you have a couple people, and Sammy, you have some people, and Sarah, I know already has a couple people, and Samantha Stone, and anyone else have people. You guys can actually join forces and create like a small little group, and then it'll just grow over time. But I want you, like Shayla and Sammy and whoever else, like what I'd like for y'all to do is, get comfortable with having a day of posts. We'll get you merged into that. And so that way, when you start running your own groups, you kind of have like, you can run it any way you want. And we have like all kinds of different guides and like 30 days of content. So it's not like you're having to, think up stuff every single time. But, I definitely think like focus right now, and this is for, everyone on the call and everyone watching, focus on just sharing your journey and, inviting people to that or starting dialogues around that, whether it's in real life, whether it's on, Messenger, whether it's through a text, whether it's through a phone call. And then once you start to get, people jumping in with you, then we can get you, combined with other coaches and, running a challenge group. But, for now, we would just add them to our group and, make sure we're getting you posting so they can see you as a coach. That's what I did in Brooke's group, and it was, really, really helpful. Anything else? Sammy, is that
Sorry.
No, you're fine. It says Sam, and I wasn't sure if it was Samantha Stone or you.
I typed it in really quick. My computer completely died, so.
Oh no, you're
I had
fine.
to dial in with my phone really quick.
No, you're okay. No, I was just saying, and this is being recorded, so you'll be able to hear it. But I was saying, once you have like, a couple people, I was telling Shayla, like, focus on, sharing your journey. And then once you have like, one or two people who want to join you, you would just add them to our group now. And then, in a month or so, once a couple of you guys have at least one or two people, I could help you all create like a group for yourselves. So you could kind of start to run them on your own. And I was telling, I'm not sure if you were still on, but there's like we have tons and tons of guides, like, 30 days of content. So it's never like you're always trying to like pick stuff up. Like there's all kinds of resources for stuff like that.
Perfect.
And I'll actually put some out on our page.
Awesome.
And I don't know, this is not really off subject, but if you guys ever encounter someone who's not on Facebook, there is an app that it's called the My Challenger app. It's a free app that you can run a challenge group on an app and not a Facebook group. We have some people who do it. It is kind of nice because you can like check in and like check what if you had your shake or check if you did your workout, and then there's like
nice
a way to post stuff if like just like a news feed. I have one active just for like two people who are on Facebook. And I just kind of I'm not as consistent as I should be, but I'll add you guys to it just so you can kind of see what it's like, because a lot of people are kind of like, don't want to be on Facebook, and I understand that. So if you ever encounter that, there's definitely that option too.
Perfect.
Yeah. I think what else? But I didn't really want to overload this with like, I just don't want you guys to ever feel like, there's all the things you have to do, because it can be, what I love about Beachbody and our groups and our teams is there's abundant resources, which is great. But it can be overwhelming, especially if you're new or you're just trying to find your way. So my goal and hope is that I can always like break it down for you guys and just make it a little bit more like easy and simple, and just giving you the things you need to do to help you kind of move your business forward in whatever way you want. And that way it's not, you know, this, like all these things. And I was telling Shayla too, earlier today, but I have this new coach training that I am redoing. So I would love for you guys to all check it out. I haven't put it up yet, but once I get it up, it's just going to be like a series of a couple of videos that break everything down. So if like I had a girl, if there's a girl that I'm talking to right now, she's kind of interested, I could send her the page and she could just kind of click through each video, and it's like understanding what a coach does, and you know how I run a challenge group, and understanding what are the best offerings to offer someone. So just kind of breaking it down very simplistic. So once I kind of finalize that, I'll send it to you guys just so you can kind of test it out too. But yeah, I mean, you know, never hesitate to, you know, call me, ping me, text me, whatever. You know, this whole side thing brings me so much joy, and you know, I hope it does for you all too. And if anything, at a minimum, I hope it just kind of brings you a little more balance in the throes of motherhood.
It definitely does.
All right.
We
Well,
all need it.
yes. Oh my gosh, so need it. Well, it's so good talking to you guys. I'm so excited to see you all. And yeah, if you need anything, let me know. You know where to find me. And then I would like to hopefully make having some type of team call a little more regularly, but you know, it's hard because there's a lot of other, you know, things going on, but I'm thinking at least like twice a month. So we'll figure out a kind of consistent time, and, you know, kind of get something on the calendar so we can at least, even if it's just to do kind of like, you know, power hours or just ask questions or whatever. But yeah.
This was great. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Have a good night.
You too.
All right. Bye.
Bye.